This year, I closed one chapter and began another. After a year of healing, growing, and building my own, this is the space I get to call home, and I'm bringing you with me step by step. My last home was a 2-bedroom apartment in Lake Norman, North Carolina, tucked into Brookdale Village. It was my first real space as a single mom after leaving an 8-year relationship. It wasn't what I would have picked design-wise, but it gave me something I hadn't had in a long time: stability. I signed that lease on my own. I made 12 months of payments on time by myself. It might not sound glamorous, but for me, it was one of the most powerful things I've ever done. It felt like I had finished a long, hard war, and I survived. In that season, designing for my soul looked like white walls, soft textures, clean lines. It was a visual exhale. But later, I started craving color. Moodier rooms, richer tones, something a little bit more playful and wild, like checking into a 25-hour hotel in Vienna. Unexpected, exciting, and a little rebellious. Both are beautiful, both reflect who I was in that moment. Now we're here in a peaceful little pocket of South Charlotte. This townhouse sits on a quiet street, but it's close to everything we need. There's a huge romantic fireplace that anchors the main room, a screened-in patio with a skylight, and a fan where the light shifts all day long. And right behind the house, wildflowers, a greenway, a creek, and so many deer. I moved in before sunrise, driving a U-Haul at 5 a.m. because I was scared to take the highway. And when I arrived, 7 deer were waiting for me, just walking calmly past the patio screen like they'd been there all along. I knew instantly I was home. My entire design approach is built around one principle: designing for your soul. I use it on every project, and it's the foundation of my blog, my books, and my own home. It means designing through your senses: what you see, what you hear, what you touch, even how you breathe in a space. At one point, my soul needed peace and silence. Then it needed color and expression. Now it's craving sophistication, stillness. This next chapter will include classic elements, dental molding, subtle paint, wallpaper in small doses. Thoughtful lighting, less statement, more intention. Still me, but grounded. Every design journey for me starts with exploration. I went to Restore, run by Habitat for Humanity. If you haven't been, it's a gold mine for building materials, leftover paint, vanities, hardware, lighting, sometimes even brand new products from home builders. I picked up a tarp, a gallon of paint, and opened nearly every cabinet and vanity just to see what was there. Then I visited Goodwill. I wasn't necessarily shopping to buy, but I was looking to get inspired. You never know when a shape, a finish, or a vintage piece will spark a direction. Designing for your soul doesn't have to start with expensive furniture or custom pieces. It can start with what you discover, what's already around you, and what resonates. The very first decision I made in this townhouse was the wall color. Color sets the tone. It tells the space how to feel. I tested a few options. I compared a rich, moody blue I found at Restore. No name, just pigment codes. It was beautiful, but too heavy for this space. I'll be saving that one as an accent in the powder room. The color I chose for the walls is from Benjamin Moore. It's called Vail Mist, number 1494. A soft, gentle gray-green with a warmth that shifts throughout the day. I tested the sheen in natural and artificial light. Matte on the walls to help soften the reflection, satin trim to bring just enough contrast. These small details how light moves across the surface, change the way your body feels inside a room. That's why I take the time to test it all. Even before I place the furniture, even while the house is still filled with boxes, the sensory experience has already started. I cleaned the patio, I rolled out my yoga mat, the deer wandered by as I stretched, and the air moved softly through the skylight. Sight, sound, movement, light. Even now, this house is offering a kind of nervous system relief I haven't had in years. That's the soul's way of saying, this is right. Everything is still a mess. The paint cans are still open, but in the quiet moments at night on the patio, I can feel it, the potential. This space is going to hold something beautiful, not just design-wise, but emotionally. And that's the whole point. Next time, I'll walk you through the home's full color and sheen strategy. We'll break down the exact finishes I'm using for the walls, trim, ceiling, room by room, and I'll explain why sheen might be the most overlooked tool in interior design. Subscribe to follow along as we turn this empty townhouse into a home designed for the soul.